Yes, fellas, JOEBILINE here, and today we've got a video on player traits. Now, some of you asked me to cover this on Twitter, and I thought I would do. Now, player traits are something that have been in FIFA for a long time, but this year, if we jump over to a player, they're actually, on mobile at least, they've been listed for a while on console, and they have been active in mobile, they've just not been shown. Maybe one, due to UI, and two, just really due to the fact that in most parts, especially for FIFA Mobile, traits are largely pointless and ineffective, and it's basically like there's no point worrying you about them, making you aware of them, because you may think, oh, I need to get players that do this or that. They don't really matter too much, because player traits affect more CPU players. So things that will happen for players when you're not controlling them, which obviously is something in console that can happen more often, like when you're playing career mode, playing full matches. So I think obviously with full matches seemingly back this year, they are in the beta, but it's in alpha state, so we'll have to see what actually happens with head-to-head. Because this is a beta, but it's classed, if we jump over, it classes the head-to-head as alpha. Head-to-head alpha. So that's actually not even in beta yet, but they've included it in the beta, so it's a stage before beta. So I'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, you would have noticed, and I know some of you on Twitter have noticed, that a lot of these players all have traits. Some have one, some have none, some have quite a few. If we jump to Goalkeepers, I believe he has a few. No, he's just got the one long shot taker. Why have I got a centre back up top? Power header. Let me have a look, because I know there's a few that have quite a few, should we say? Yeah, that's the best way of saying it. Let me have a look. Quadrado, has he got a few? Yeah, so he's got two. Tries to beat the offside tap, and Diver. And Diver's one that a lot of people have noticed straight away and thought it's funny, because there's certain players in real life who dive and they've got the Diver trait, and it's like, okay. These traits, like I say, have been in the game for a year. They've just been hidden at the user interface level on mobile, but they have been found and data mined throughout the years, because it's the same as console ones, basically. And a lot of people swore by some of the defender traits to actually use for defenders with that, especially in Season 1. So like Boateng, he's got long throw and long passes. So some traits are more useful than others, some are more prominent than others, and some you can actually notice happen, whereas others you may not notice. Because traits are all divided into different categories. There's standard traits, which do affect the way players will behave when you're controlling them. The CPU AI traits, which will only affect your opposition's players when they're being controlled by the CPU, because some people may not realise this, but when you're playing against the computer, there's technically a player that's being controlled by the computer the same way a human controls one player at the time, then the rest just act as normal AI. If you get what I mean. Imagine when you're playing a computer, you're playing against one computer and he's controlling one defender at a time, one attacker at a time. He's using one player on the pitch at a time, and the rest just act like the same way that the players you're not controlling act. There's then the career mode ones, so that doesn't matter here. And then there's virtual pro ones, which doesn't matter here. So there's traits fall into one of those four categories. There's a few that will affect the way when you're on the ball in controlling the player. So those ones you'll get are like when you see them with finesse shot, outside foot shot, power header, long throw-ins, giant throw-ins, early crossers, powerful driven free kicks, swerves, fancy passes, flair, all them ones that sort of say what they are. Those are what you can control and go. So if you get traits like that, then they will affect the way you play, because you've got giant throw, they're going to take giant throws. They've got power free kicks, their free kicks are going to be more powerful. They've got flair, then they're going to be less likely to make mistakes when they're attempting flair moves. For goalkeepers, saves with foot, they're more likely to save with their feet when it's at close range. All pretty standard, really. It's more the ones that are sort of undefined that you're like, what are they having? So yeah, long shot taker, they're more likely, they're going to be better with the long shots, but also when AI controlled, they're more likely to take long shots. What's Galano got? Playmaker. So Playmaker, I believe, is a... Where did I see Playmaker? Playmaker is a trait that comes when the player automatically has certain stats. So this is for FIFA 19 console, what defines a Playmaker. I don't know if they're using the traits exactly one for one as they are in FIFA 19 console here, or they may be using the older versions from like whatever engine this is supposed to be, if it's supposed to be, I don't know. But like Playmaker, for example, is when short passings above 86, long passings above 73, and visions above 86. So things like Playmaker and stuff undefined like that. Let's have a look if anybody's got it, so I can show more examples. No, Tar hasn't got any. Alaba should have something. No, he's just got long shot taker. Who haven't we had a look at? Quadrado, actually, he was showing just diver and tries to beat offside trap. So tries to beat offside trap is one that is going to be more involved for AI, so you're not going to see that. It's just like where it is what it says on the tin. Diver, players will fall to the ground more easily, essentially, in challenges. So if you are near challenges, if you're near the box, then the player is more likely to go down in the box, and you may notice that with players with the diver trait, they'll just go down easily. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're actually diving, because FIFA doesn't really allow diving, and it could work against you really, because players, when you hope they would stay up, are more likely to hit the deck when they get touched softer. So that's what diving means. The selfish is another one that you essentially won't ever really properly come across or affect you. But it just means like the AIs, if it's on the AI, it's more likely to keep them together. I'll leave a link to the pitch notes in the comments section below, because that's going to go into. Let me have a look what players we've got here that aren't in the team. Let's have a look at this keeper Neto. What's he got here? So he's got puncher. So yeah, from corners, from crosses, he's more likely to punch the ball out. Pretty self-explanatory there. Jamie Varner, he's got diver and dives into tackles. So yeah, diver is more likely to go down if he gets touched near the box. Well, anywhere on the pitch. Dives into tackles. Dives into tackles is a trait that a lot of people swore by, especially in Season 1. They found the players that had the dives into tackle trait. Because dives into tackle, it is what it says it is. It's only going to be controlled by AI. But it means they're more likely to use a sliding tackle than a standing tackle. So in Season 1, a lot of people swore by defenders that had the dives into tackle trait, because they're more likely to make that foul on the edge of the box to stop an attack, to stop a chance. It is allegedly only useful in CPU AI, which you won't have because you're not CPU, so you can't make it down. But it feels like there was a noticeable difference, but it doesn't have much impact. But it had enough to make people want to favour players like that. And it did in Season 1 prove to be something that people were looking for, and it proved its worth. What was Brahimi got? Selfish, yeah, they're solid players. Solid player is like, well, what does solid mean? Solid player is another one that a player with this trait has reduced chance of getting injured when a collision occurs. So solid players are less likely to get injured, they're less likely to go down, they'll carry on. Selfish, yeah, like I say, selfish, CPU AI, they're less likely to pass. There's loads. I'll leave I'll leave a link, but essentially player traits aren't much to worry about. Don't go changing your playstyle or thinking about what teams you're going to build for playstyles, because they have hardly any impact whatsoever. You have the most right to say, because you're the one controlling the players at the end of the day. Some are kind of useful, like dives into tackles for defenders, if the defenders got other good stats around, but never really. Only would use a trait like that to decide between one or two. If you can't make your mind up, don't lead with that, because they don't make that much of a difference altogether, so it doesn't matter that much. But obviously leave a like in the comment, leave a like below. Let me know if you want any more further explanation. What else have you found in this year's FIFA that you'd like me to talk about and explain further? Probably know the answer, or at least can have a good guess, like just based on my years and knowledge of FIFA. So let me know in the comments section below. Subscribe if you're new here. Videos, well, there'll be videos every single day once FIFA Mobile Season 3 comes out. Obviously at the moment we're uploading console and FIFA Mobile, and I want to try and stick to that, and a bit of sprinkle of Madden here and there, maybe some other stuff. So let me know in the comments section below what you want to see. Leave a like, enjoy, peace, and I'll see you all later. Peace.
But behind behind closed doors. I'm a fool for your love.